My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Aries. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general reading of past, present, future. But before that, I want to wish you all a happy, happy, happy birthday to all of my beautiful followers, to all of my beautiful fledglings, to everybody who hasn't subscribed yet. But I always want to acknowledge everyone's birthday season and their element in many ways. So happy, happy birthday. May all of your beautiful birthday wishes come true after you blow out your birthday candles. So I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today I'm going to be doing a general reading, a 9-card spread. I'm going to be using the regular tarot deck Clarify with the Vampire deck. And draw a special vampire card, draw a vampire oracle, and then draw 3 yes or no answers for thee. So let's get started on your reading. The general card is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So you start off, let's look at the first row, which is also your past, with the 5 of Wands. Oof, the Tower. And the High Priestess. Okay, yeah, what I see for, or saw for my beloved, Aries in many ways, is that, there was a bit of a conflict and competition kind of situation. And regarding the Tower, it's like something, is kind of breaking down. But this beautiful card of the High Priestess, the book of upper knowledge, the person who has probably so much experience and stuff like that. What I kind of see here is, there was a bit of maybe, I'm not per se, feeling conflict unless there was conflict, somewhere in your life. But I mostly see here is, there's kind of competition for something regarding maybe like some kind of job or some kind of career or some kind, though technically I don't really see anything. But I really wonder if there's any kind of like, that there was a bit of a competition regarding, maybe a job interview or applying for any kind of job or career. Or, the thing is what I notice about a lot of Aries is you guys are in the arts a lot, whether it's in music, whether it's in dancing, whether it's in anything. But I just know that there's a lot of Aries who are in the arts. So, you could have, applied for maybe some kind of art school or maybe some kind of dance school or something. But there's a competition. But regarding the Tower, it's kind of a silver lining kind of card because, the Tower is obviously, breaking down for a reason. So the thing is, it's like, okay, maybe, it's like, I see that you tried to apply for something, but maybe you just thought that maybe the competition is a bit too high in any way, or maybe, the requirements are a bit too, too harsh in many ways where you just think, what, actually, I'm just going to try something different. Because the thing is sometimes, it's like, okay, you try something and it doesn't work out. But the thing is, with the 5 of Wands and the Tower, it's like there's competition and conflict, but yet, something has to break down. But this is pretty much, one of your beautiful, or, actually a very beautiful intuition card, because the High Priestess has her upper book of knowledge. She's like, the upper, most intelligent, being in the entire tarot deck and stuff like that. Because, she has, so much knowledge, but it's also based off of experience. And since this is pretty much, taken place in the past and stuff like that, you could apply this kind of experience, this kind of knowledge from anything and start, well, maybe if it worked out for you in the past, you could try to apply it in current time. So you could try to even work on the future and stuff like that. And that's why we're going to have to keep going. Because in the future, ooh, you get the Sun reversed. Now, I'm not allowed to show the Sun reversed or even upright. Justice. And 2 of Wands. Okay, interesting. Yeah. The thing is it's like, what I mentioned earlier is, sometimes, it's like there's something way better out there for you. And the thing is okay, it's like there's already, problems or some kind of competition kind of problems in the past and stuff like that regarding the 5 of Wands. So it was probably maybe some kind of like very harsh or, very hard, interview or maybe some kind of like audition of some kind. It just didn't work out, stuff like that. But your upper book of knowledge from experience is more or less applying to current times. Because the thing is, it's like, okay, with the Sun reverse, it's like you could be in darker times and stuff, even though we are technically in springtime, which should actually be, brighter in many ways. But the thing is the sun isn't shining just yet because you've been through some kind of, like, well, not really breakage of any kind, but it's kind of like something just didn't work out for you, so it could still be resonating in current times where, where the Tower, situation is still resonating and still hasn't improved. But then, you do get some form of justice. So this is, you could have, some kind of legal situation that you were working on or that you're struggling with regarding the Five of Wands. But you could also have a sense of stability. You could have a, feeling of equality of some kind, that everything is actually turning around for you because this is you actually heading out into this world. So the thing is, it's like, I'm kind of maybe getting some kind of legal issue here or something that you're pretty much actually overcoming. But yeah, the thing is, it's like, don't ever, underestimate the sun reverse because, a tower, yes, it is a silver lining and blessing in disguise kind of situation. But the thing is that's kind of like a trauma kind of situation as well. It's kind of like something has to break down for new beginnings and stuff like that. But hopefully this Two of Wands will kind of be like your new beginning. Because when we look at the future, you do get the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Five of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. Ooh, and Temperance. Okay, you can have Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, or you can even have Sagittarius in your star chart. Yeah, what I mostly see here is, okay, the thing is you're heading out into this world, but what I'm kind of mostly, kind of sensing here is this is kind of like internal worries, but this is also kind of like your past experience that's more or less going to be guiding you through this whole process, because, it's like, yeah, well, maybe, it's like you might not have, all many, financial resources in the past. I mean, in the future, forgive me for that. But yet, it's like you are recovering from some kind of like, financial problems, and you are going to be in a very serene and kind of in a very beautiful balance, just like even, the Justice card, which is in the center of the entire reading and stuff like that. So what I mostly am sensing here is, it's like you're kind of, keeping yourself in a very grounded, position, mindset in any way, because the thing is, it's like, okay, you're dealing with like all of these, chaotic, maybe transitions of some kind. And then, but as long as you keep grounded and you keep calm in many ways, then, you'll be in a very serene position in the future, especially, that you're actually overcoming, some financial difficulties in the future as well. Wow. Okay, now let's do some clarification. For the Five of Wands, you get Nine of Swords. Okay, this is kind of like competition and conflict, that's more or less resulting in, like a nightmare situation and all negativity. Okay, so whatever happened in the past, hopefully it's just only staying in the past and stuff like that. But the thing is, it's like, what I'm mostly getting here is, okay, there's probably maybe some kind of legal battle, maybe because, you do get justice, but we're still going to have to clarify justice. But, it's like there could be, a bit of a conflict. I mean, yeah, actually, a real big conflict or something that resulted in this nightmare situation. So, but anyway, okay, sometimes these situations happen. Hopefully it was foreseen in the sense that you could have prepared yourself for this, because unforeseen circumstances really just end up in a negative, situation. No, I don't really see anything all too catastrophic right now. Because with the Tower, Daughter of Grails, okay. The Page of Cups, this is interesting, because the thing is, it's like, okay, this is kind of silver lining, because maybe, it's like this Page of Cups, this idea child, is something, that has to come, to bring forth, regarding, even the High Priestess situation. I mean, you can have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but I'm just seeing that, it's like this is more or less sort of like a wish fulfillment, not exactly, but it's kind of like an idea that you want to start bringing forth into this world. So, the tower has to break down so you can actually, start bringing forth this idea kind of child, situation. I mean, that's kind of, in any kind of way, a trauma, it's like a childbirth is considered like a physical trauma to the body, I mean, I've never endured it, or experienced it myself, but, it's like there are thousands of women that have. So, it's kind of like you're putting in time and effort on having to, bring forth this idea and stuff like that. I mean, that's why, you do get some kind of serene feeling, and you are going out into this world and stuff like that. So I'm kind of getting, maybe a financial kind of endeavor that you're kind of heading towards. High Priestess, Three of Grails. Okay. What I'm mostly seeing here is, it's like you have so much support, from your friends and family. So, the thing is, sometimes, when you're actually, bringing forth this new idea child kind of, endeavor in any way, okay, it's very painful because, something has to break down for new beginnings. But yet, you have so much love and support from your friends and family. The thing is, it's like the Three of Cups is technically a celebratory, card, so yeah, maybe, you could have been celebrating a birthday maybe after or around March 21st and stuff like that. So that could have also been a celebratory occasion. But I'm mostly seeing here is, it's like that you have so much support, from your, friends, family, any loved one in this world. So, but we're going to have to continue. The Sun reversed, you get the Daughter of Knives. Okay, so what I'm actually mostly seeing here is, it's like the sun isn't shining for you yet, but you do have this ambition, this drive within you to want to go out and maybe start bringing forth this idea. Okay, the thing is, it's like, you have, past experience and knowledge to actually start to, fueling and this motivation and, this, sense of wanting to start getting out into this world, stuff like that. So even though, the sun, there could also be a lack of clarity because, when you're, because, like with the Tower reverse, that's kind of like something you had to break down. And so it's like, whenever something breaks down, sometimes, you could also be a bit disoriented, not saying you are, but, it's like with any kind of major trauma in any way, that could cause one to just feel a bit stunned in the sense where you just kind of think like, where do I go from here? And that's what I see here is, you're pretty much just thinking, okay, I may be, kind of a bit, like, okay, maybe hypothetically, you didn't get this job offer or, you rehearsed or practiced for something for so long, but yet you just didn't get it. Sometimes you do have to start, from the moment it just didn't work out, but it doesn't mean that you're going back to square one. It's just only the moment where something had to break down and then you have to kind of take it up from there. But I do see a lot of ambition and motivation within you. Because with the Justice card, you get the Daughter of Scepters, the Page of Wands. Okay, you get 3 pages. You got the Page of Cups in the past, the Page of Swords. So I actually see you mostly, incredibly motivated, but incredibly balanced as well. You're keeping yourself in a very stable mindset because, you're getting out into this world. You're pretty much, maybe going to start, brushing up on your skills or your any kind of like rehearsals or any kind of like practice sessions and stuff like that, because I see that you're still going to be trying something again. And the Page of Wands is all about going out on this journey, but it's also one of your beautiful fiery cards as well, man or woman. So, with the Two of Wands, I see you heading out because you get the World. When I was talking about the World, I was actually picturing this card. So the thing is I see you actually heading back out into this world. The thing is the crux, so far, the big message that I want to present to you is sometimes we are dealt with setbacks, we're dealt with all this negativity, it's like even, being, transformed into a vampire. That was a major setback in my life. Why? Because I was not expecting to be turned into a vampire. And the thing is it's like I had to put so many things on hold. I had to put my life on hold, everything on hold. But the thing is it's like this is kind of, the first day of me actually getting out of my coffin as well. So I know this combination all too well is that you're getting out into this world and you're pretty much just saying, okay, we're just going to keep going because we are incredibly ambitious and motivated with the Page of Wands. And now we have the Two of Wands. So, despite the Queen of Pentacles in the future, you get the Prince of Grails. This is like the Knight of Cups. So the thing is it's like, yeah, I do see you, actually being offered something because, you don't have, many, financial resources and stuff like that. So the thing is as long as you get out into this world and you have this drive within you to want to keep going and to not give up, eventually, something is going to, will turn up around the corner or somewhere, unexpected, usually because that does happen in the future because, again, I can't say when or how. But I do see, a potential offer, being offered to you because, maybe, it's like, you're handing in your resumes again. Maybe, it's like you're networking and you've told your friends, family, colleagues, any person out there that says, yeah, I'm kind of down on my luck a little bit. But that's why, this is a major turnaround of actually being presented with a new opportunity. Five of Pentacles reversed. You are recovering from finances and stuff like that, but yet you get the Five of Wands again. Okay, so the thing is it's like there's maybe a bit of conflict or competition, but this could also be fears about the future of thinking, because maybe, it's like, okay, you're being, presented with this gift of an opportunity and stuff like that, but maybe this is where you kind of have to maybe study for an exam, or you have to, like, redo some kind of job interview of some kind because, but yeah, it's like this could also be internal fears of thinking, oh goodness, it's like, well, what if it doesn't work out? Yes, I'm being presented something that's going to take me out of poverty, but how do I know it's going to work out in my favor? Well, the thing is it's like whatever you do right now will contribute to, no conflicts or competition in the future. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, it's important to be, well, vocal, to be, well, very, open, to communication and stuff like that, and to let other people know, to say, I'm kind of worried about, if I have to take an entrance exam or something, or I have to prove myself in other ways, that could also cause, conflicts within yourself as well, of thinking, oh my goodness, I don't think I can do it. And then your conscience and your upper mind will say, oh yes, you can, because, this is also, your conscience, your senses that are pretty much guiding you, saying, okay, you know and this is actually, well, you will kind of being put to the test, well, about, your past experience and your ground knowledge from the past, because with the temperance, you get 7 of Skulls. So, there's definitely, hesitation of some kind. But the thing is I do see a very serene, grounded, I mean, this is, your brother sister card, the Sagittarius. But I see here, it's like, okay, you are in a very grounded situation, but yet there's hesitancy. What does that mean? Is that, it's like, maybe, you're in a very grounded, position and stuff like that, but yet, and well, the thing is, the product is there, so it looks like that you have overcome some kind of, like, conflict and competition and stuff like that regarding the 5 of Wands. So I do actually see that you will get this job or this career or whatever quest voyage that you're pretty much heading towards and working towards. But yeah, it's like, I do sense some kind of hesitancy. But yeah, it doesn't mean that there's anything negative. Maybe, it's like you were, yeah, maybe, it's like you will pass this exam or this entrance exam or whatever it may be. And yeah, eventually, you probably just think, well, I'm not so sure I want to do it. Well, 100% your prerogative on how you want to, we'll go about this message and stuff like that. But I do see a very beautiful, well, yeah, groundedness, because you are in a very serene position and stuff like that, yet there's hesitancy, but it doesn't mean anything all too negative. Wow. Special vampire card. Justice, the second Justice card. So the thing is, it's like, yeah, the hesitancy could also be shock and stuff like that, about thinking, oh, really, is that, did I really actually pass? Did I actually get this and stuff like that? That could also be, like the whole hesitancy of thinking, no, come on, I didn't pass, or I didn't get that, like, music, career, stuff like that. But I do see you in a very balanced position in the future. So I actually think everything is just going to work out for my beloved Aries no matter what. So that's what I just see is just pure balance, and it's equality, justice, whatever it may be. In any way, I mean, it could be a legal matter, though I don't really see anything regarding legal problems. But I do see you in a very balanced, very grounded mindset, because this is the second Justice, and you also get the Temperance as well. Wow. Okay. What does Oracle have for my beloved Aries? Thirst. Craving, compulsion, and obsession. Okay. Be incredibly thirsty, my beloved Aries. Because the thing is, it's like, thirsty is like this drive within you. Your motivation of thinking, okay, it's like a vampire craves blood and stuff like that. And the thing is, that's kind of the vampire's motivation. But your thirst should be, whatever this goal, endeavor, and quest that you're more or less heading towards. So the thing is be incredibly thirsty. Be incredibly, crave, what you want, wish, and desire. And maybe have a bit of an obsession of thinking, I'm not going to give up, because the thing is once you will sink your teeth into something, like, metaphorically speaking, of course, the thing is don't ever let go, and don't ever think, no, it didn't work out for me, so I'm just going to give up. Absolutely not, because life is way too short just to kind of and just give up just because of a couple of setbacks, or any 1 or 2 setbacks for that matter. Because the thing is yes, I faced setbacks. I will face my biggest setback of being transitioned into a vampire, stuff like that. But yet that just did not stop me from actually bringing forth this tarot gift for you all. So wow. Okay, I'm going to finish off with 3 yes or no answers. Please feel free to pause this video and think about the questions you want answered. Because for number 1, you get a no with the Fool reversed. No with the 5 of Pentacles upright. And a no with the second Temperance. My goodness. Okay, so sadly you do get 3 no's, but hopefully it'll be silver lining no's in many ways. But anyway, I'm going to have to leave it at that. Again, happy birthday to all my beautiful, amazing Aries, and yeah, to all my followers, fledglings, anybody out there. But anyway, I'm going to have to leave it at this. I really hope this does resonate. Feel free to subscribe if it does. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me in this channel. I love you guys so very much. In a few days, I'm going to go back to love rings. I'm going to go back and forth between love and general. Well, for now. But anyway, everybody's now welcome for personal readings. If you want a personal reading, please feel free to also join and subscribe to this channel. Please let me know if you want a personal reading and stuff like that. All you have to do is just say, yes, I want one, or whatever, and then I'll respond to you with my email and stuff like that. But anyway, again, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys, and I want to wish you all the best in your voyage and quest and endeavor.